All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Monday, August 25th, 2025. This is episode 948 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. And over the next hour, I see a little thing there that needs to get addressed. Over the next hour, if you're looking to get the top cyber news stories of the day alongside community that's supportive, inclusive, and all about good times, you are in for a treat because this is Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. And I am your host, Two Thumbs All Smires, Dr. Gerald Auger. And we are bringing the heat to you this morning, going through the top cyber news stories. And I'm going to do everything in my power to go beyond the headlines, go deeper, and basically take you to the next level, giving you insights that you won't get anywhere else, going beyond kind of the textbook, going beyond the webinar series, right? Taking that 20 years of experience I have alongside so many Simply Cyber community members and going beyond that to give you insights on what you can do with this information to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders. I am super pumped as always. We're trying to level up the show a little bit at a time. We have a new graphics package. So if today is your first episode, welcome to the party, pal. Here we go. You can do a hashtag first timer in chat. We'll definitely appreciate that. But if you're a regular, like so many of you are, please enjoy the new graphics package. Kathy Chambers was cooking up some stuff this weekend and has got us all set up looking like a real boy in a real news program. So we're trying to not lose the charm and style that is our vibe here at Simply Cyber, but at the same time trying to level it up so all of you get a better experience. Now, if you are a first timer, drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Love it, love it, love it. Love having you here. We're still going to be able to get those CPEs, so don't sweat on that. But before we get into them, let me give you a little shout out, a little love to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring this show to you in all of its capacity. Starting with Barricade Cyber Solutions and their Fortify 365 solution. Barricade Cyber knows all about dealing with right of boom. They deal with incidents all the time. So they know how easy it is to properly configure environments to prevent the bad from happening. And that's exactly what Fortify365.com can do for you. Go to Fortify365.com today and check out the service. If you're running an M365 instance and you haven't properly configured it before, you are missing out. You are taking risk for no reason, and I have no idea why you would be doing that. So go to Fortify365.com today. Get on the phone with Eric Taylor. It's a simple conversation. Can you help me? Yes, no. Boom, done. I also want to say shout out and love to Antisyphon training. Guys, we're 2 days away from Blue Team Summit, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the 27th. There's still time for Blue Team Summit. It's a free cybersecurity conference, virtual to attend. So it's very accessible. It's very affordable. Literally, you can take it from anywhere for $0. And it's going to be a full day of training and lectures and webinar and lessons and speaking. And I want to tell you, half of the speakers at Blue Team Summit this 27th are Simply Cyber community members. So hashtag Team SC, super pumped for everybody out there that is participating. What I would say is, at worst, right, your absolute worst, register for the conference. It costs $0. Get it on your calendar. If you can't go, you can't go. But if you can go and you don't register, well, aren't you going to look like a fool, right? Here we go. Blue Team Summit. Boom. Get on that. I also want to say shout out to Flare. Guys, Flare Academy, I'm excited. I'm actually going to be joining the Black Hills Information Security Anticast, or Antisyphon's Anticast, when Flare is on there. I actually reached out to Nick Ascoli the other day about coming on Simply Cyber Firesides. He is going to be doing that. Guys, here's the deal. Flare Academy is the basically training side of Flare, where all they're doing is providing you access to industry professionals talking about really relevant topics for 2 hours every couple weeks. Look at this, September 23rd. So you got a full month ahead of you talking about Russian cyber criminal forums ecosystems. Dude, that's some dangerous stuff. So if you'd like to have a buffer between you and Russian cyber criminal forums, but actually know what's going on, this is for you. 100%. You're going to learn the history and inner workings of the Russian secret cyber criminal underworld. And Oleg Lipko, CTI analyst at Flare, is going to be your guide. I'm actually going to register for this. I would love to know more about this without getting, in too much danger. All right. Guys, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. So say what's up in chat. Oh, my God. Yeah, say what's up in chat and take a screenshot. Every episode's worth half a CPE. Just get that screenshot, file it away once a year, count up the screenshots, divide by 2. That's how many CPEs you got. You can get up to 120 CPEs. Also worth noting, you can get about, 6 CPEs, 5 or 6 CPEs for attending Blue Team Summit. You can get 2 CPEs for the Flare Academy. So, we have CPEs for days, so don't think you're missing out on all of that. Also, I saw Sean Washington talking about back to school cyber traffic. If you're in car line, if you're in traffic, if you got the kiddos in chat in the car, what's up, kiddos? I know it stinks going back to school. My kids are back to school too. If you are going back to school yourself and want to get the momentum but not miss out on the action, may I just tell you really quickly, I was feeling inspired. I have to go back to teaching this Thursday at the Citadel. We at Simply Cyber Academy are actually running a back to school special. So if you've been on the fence about getting some education from Simply Cyber Academy, use the code FALL10 to get 10% off all the courses. The OSINT for pen testers, the AWS pen testing, the GRC analyst masterclass. We got hacking Linux coming out, a new GRC course around risk management. We got courses for days. So don't pay full price. Fall 10, valid through next Sunday, 11:59 p.m. Woo! All right, guys. I hope you're ready. Do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us all in an awesome way. I will see all of you at the mid-roll. Check it out.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Monday, August 25th, 2025. I'm Steve Prentice. Malicious Go module steals credentials via Telegram. Researchers at cybersecurity firm Socket are warning of a malicious Go module that, quote, presents itself as a brute force tool for SSH, that is, a secure shell, but actually contains functionality to exfiltrate credentials. It does this by, quote, sending the target IP address, a username, and password to a hard-coded Telegram bot controlled by the threat actor, end quote. The package is named Golang Random IP SSH Brute Force and has been linked to a now discontinued GitHub account. The researchers also said the Go module, quote, works by scanning random IPv4 addresses for exposed SSH services on TCP port 22, then attempting to brute force the service using an embedded username password list and exfiltrating the successful credentials to the attacker, end quote.
All right. So this is interesting. A couple things going on here. Number one, this isn't super, innovative or novel. There have been SSH brute force tools for days. So, I don't know how many downloads this guy's getting of this tool, considering, oh my God, Hydra, right? Hydra is a really popular, well-known brute force tool. Go is a faster programming language, my understanding. So people who almost new generation who are oh, I don't use my dad's, security tools. I use my own. We use Rust and Go. We're not going to be using Hydra and Nmap, you bunch of olds. So maybe that's the case. This guy looks like he's hosting tools on his like blog site. So here's a list of his tools. Who knows? I almost wonder if you went through some of these other tools, if you would actually find more kind of hidden functionality in it. But basically what he does is he's got a tool that does SSH brute forcing. Again, nothing super novel here. Essentially, finding SSH listening servers. SSH is secure shell. It's basically a listening service to allow remote connections into Linux boxes. It's secure. It's considered like a standard practice, and you can scan the internet looking for these SSH servers, port 22. All right. When you find one, you have to log into it. Now, if you're using certificates, this isn't going to work. If you're using username and password only, this will work. Now, this guy's tool is pretty basic, honestly. It has root and admin as the only usernames, and then kind of a password list hard-coded inside the tool that looks for some stuff. So basically, this tool isn't going to help you really as a practitioner find anything of substance. But if you do find if you find a secure shell listening service that's running root or admin as the user and some crappy password, this thing's going to find it. And it will tell you as the person using it, but here's the clever part. It'll actually like basically C2, it'll message out to the author of the tool and say, hey, this IP address is running secure shell, and it can log in with this username and password. So basically this guy is just like crowdsourcing, finding vulnerable SSH servers to known username and passwords. That's all that's happening here. Again, two things. One, interesting to use Telegram as a vehicle for C2. Not innovative, but it is interesting. Number two, like this is such a like spray and pray type attack. Like what kind of, like this guy gets a IP address and SSH creds. Like he doesn't know if it's a high value target, if it's a lab machine. With these username and passwords, it probably is a lab machine. Obviously it's not good because the person downloading it to use it doesn't know that it's exfilling that data to the author of the tool also. So a little bit of unknown. I do like that they point out this particular thing, and I'll ask the community really quickly. Maybe I feel like I've got this. I feel like they have this wrong, and I'm about to correct it. But you tell me, okay? It says a notable aspect is that it disables host key verification as a host key callback, allowing the SSH client to accept connections from any server. I think that this is a mistake in the actual write-up. And again, fact check me on this one. This should say allowing the SSH server to accept connections from any client, regardless of their identity. And typically here's the thing, when you SSH into a box, if it's your first time doing it, it's going to say, hey, like fingerprint, like you get this crap and you say, yes, you never see it again. What this is doing, my understanding is like basically disabling that. So then anybody can use that key to log in essentially, right? And look like it's coming from anywhere, which makes sense because the threat actor is going to want to log in as well and root around and see what's cracking. But I do think that should say SSH server accept connections from any client. But again, I'm open to feedback here, everybody. Let's keep going. Yeah. Look at this. Watch this. Watch the little ticker. We got things going on for days here.
Mirai-based botnet resurfaces targeting systems globally. Researchers at FortiGuard Labs are tracking a new botnet campaign which exploits known flaws in DreTech, TP-Link, RazeCom, and Cisco, and which exhibits, quote, evolved tactics and renewed activity, end quote. The botnet, whose name is a homophobic slur, uses code from the basic Mirai variant and integrates N-day and zero-day exploits. It has been hitting 4Faith brand industrial routers and as well Neterbit routers and Weimar smart home devices. Its operators have also been launching DDoS attacks against the researchers who are tracking it.
All right. It goes to show you how innocent I am. So the name of this particular threat actor is a slur. But when I read this, I'm not going to read it out loud for the sake of, I thought this was Game Boy. Game Boy, like the handheld, original handheld console. Not the original. The original was the simple ones that were like single games, like football. If you guys remember those, like in your grandmother's chest or something like, like where they keep the plates and stuff. Anyways, here's the deal on this one. Mirai botnet. You can download Mirai right now. Okay. You can download Mirai off GitHub. There's multiple instances of it. Originally, Mirai was like this unbelievably fast-growing botnet, and it has a couple modules to it, right? One's the infection module, one is the spread module, one's the payload module, and essentially it quickly spreads, infects, and then waits to do things. Now, the original one was only used for denial of service attacks on, fun fact, Minecraft servers. Go search that. You can go look up Rutgers Mirai Minecraft. But it's been, over the years, it's been repurposed so many times to devastating effects. And basically this group here is using end days and 0 days. End day is basically just a vulnerability that has a patch, but isn't being patched widespread. And then 0 day means no patch is available at this time. If you are running For Faith industrial routers or Neterbit routers or VMAR smart home devices, you could be at risk of infection and then be basically introduced into a botnet. Obviously, there's a couple things to do. Number one, patch your stuff. You gotta patch it. Okay. Number two, excuse me. They have hard-coded IP addresses here. I'll show them on stream. If you're listening on audio, you could pull the story. IP addresses are easy to change, right? Now, if they're hard-coded into the software, that could be problematic for the threat actor. But chances are, if this threat actor is doing this type of stuff, these IP addresses will change. So it's not, you can go threat hunting and look for source IPs of these right here to see if there's anything. But for the most part, it's more interesting than anything. So the first thing I would say is, like, how does this initial infection happen? I guess it's just technical exploitation. They find these internet-facing vulnerable routers and they pop them and then infect and then move on. Yeah, there you go. If you are infected by this, it's not a good situation. Obviously, you're going to have to clear it up. You can look for, there's got to be IOCs for these devices to tell whether or not they're compromised. Obviously, if you see large amounts of traffic coming out of these devices beyond the usual bandwidth, which is why you should know what normal looks like, that could be a problem, right? Okay. The actual like details of how this thing works is right here in the story. It connects to a C2 by resolving random domain names, so you can't really check those out too much. It does have it does use public DNS 1111 or 888, which is Google. I don't know what 1111 is, but 8888 is Google. If it's using those two and you're not using that DNS in your environment, you could use that as a way to detect. So yeah, Mirai botnet, it's not going anywhere. And if you're infected, you obviously want to get that sorted out. Although it does beg the question, if you get your system compromised and it's part of a botnet for denial of service, but it's not impacting your production or your operations, is it really something you want to fix? Obviously you don't want to be part of a botnet, but if it doesn't impact you business operations wise, does it ever rise to the priority of getting it sorted out? I don't know.
Silk Typhoon hackers exploit cloud trust to hack downstream customers. In addition to its very well-known cyber espionage activities, the group named Murky Panda, also better known as Silk Typhoon and Hafnium, has also been observed exploiting trusted relationships in cloud environments in order to gain initial access to the networks and data of downstream customers. A new report from CrowdStrike shows how the group takes advantage of the fact that, quote, cloud providers are sometimes granted built-in administrative access to customer environments, end quote. CrowdStrike adds, quote, breaches via trusted relationships are rare, but they are less monitored than more common vectors such as credential theft. By exploiting these trust models, Murky Panda can more easily blend in with legitimate traffic and activity to maintain stealthy access for long periods, end quote.
All right. Okay, so a couple things. Number one, I do say this from time to time because I was confused about this coming up as a practitioner. You'll see Murky Panda is the title. This is CrowdStrike's naming convention for the threat actor. You'll hear Silk Typhoon, which is the Microsoft naming convention for the same exact threat actor. Okay, and then Hafnium, I don't even know whose naming convention that is. Just know that different threat actor, different cyber security companies that have threat intelligence have their own naming conventions for the same exact threat actor. And there's multiple reasons for that. Part of it's marketing and branding. Part of it is based on intelligence and confidence levels and stuff like that. But anyways, just know that they're the same. Silk Typhoon is uber legit, and exploiting your cloud environment is definitely a nation state threat actor level skill set. And what they're doing is, you could see here, they'll exploit corporate networks by exploiting internet exposed devices and services. Now, Citrix NetScaler isn't necessary. And here's my thing. First of all, this says Citrix NetScaler, Microsoft Exchange, and Avanti Pulse Connect VPN. These are all on-prem solutions typically. So I don't know. In my experience, it is. Oh, you could see here, they're also known to compromise cloud services. So the story's about cloud hacks, but they do point out that these on-prem things are getting punched in the mouth too. All right, let's see. They gained access to the provider's application registration secret in Entra ID, which is Azure Active Directory, or what it used to be. So very sensitive, authorization service, basically in Windows environments. And then lets them go downstream. Yeah. So basically, here's the deal. A lot of environments are running Microsoft 365 and have Azure instances. Now, it was hot for a minute to go fully in the cloud, and then people quickly realized that there's a better fit of being hybrid. You'll hear hybrid quite a bit. That means you have on-prem resources as well as in the cloud resources or Azure. They're specifically calling out this in this story here in Murky Panda's attacking, which is no surprise. Microsoft has a giant footprint globally for corporate, the corporate environment. So it would be damn well worth your time to attack them. They talk about, basically let me tell you this. Okay. Let me tell you something. Number one, and I literally just did a LinkedIn post on this over the weekend, okay? And somebody actually pushed back on me, and I'll kind of address it right now. Listen, the cloud, it's different than on-prem, okay? Oh, it's just someone else's computer in the cloud. Yeah, it is someone else's computer. But the way you interface with it, the way it's built, the paradigm, all these things is not one-to-one to on-prem infrastructure, okay? Cloud is different. And what ends up happening, okay, and I've seen this, what ends up happening is typically your more seasoned practitioners, your more, older people, right? They are given the responsibility of administering the cloud environment because they want their best people on it, okay? Which is fine. The problem is when you're applying 20 years of on-prem experience and knowledge and getting a little bit of training for cloud, and then you go roll out your Azure instance or your hybrid instance, that's fine. But what ends up happening is you run into challenges and a risk exposure because you are not fully aware of the full scope of what the cloud can do. And I've seen this before. Okay. What this threat actor is doing, Murky Panda, is exploiting the lack of awareness that corporations are doing when they're connecting their cloud instance to their on-prem instance, specifically around access. So there's no global tenant account in Active Directory. There is one in Azure. There's also all these kind of global administrator user groups, and people get put in them. And basically, there is a sprawl of access that happens, and that sprawl, you can take it and ride it like a water slide all the way down into the on-prem pool at the bottom. That's what's up. Okay. So a little analogy here. You ever been to a water slide? You climb all the way up the friggin' stairs. It's like back and forth and up and down, and you're watching people go down and getting excited and everything. That's you deploying on-prem a cloud infrastructure. And then when you get all the way to the top, right? You don't know what you're going to expect. You grab your inner tube. The lifeguard guy gives you a spin because he's one of the cool lifeguards, and you start hauling butt and spinning down. You're not really paying attention to all the things in the water slide. You're just holding on and hanging on, right? That's basically deploying hybrid infrastructure. And if you don't know about all these different types of accounts, you're exposing yourself. So Murky Panda's doing it. What I would say is, if you can, get smart on different user groups and different permissions within the Azure infrastructure or the Azure Entra ID environment, and just do an audit. Okay, whether you're IT, whether you're GRC, do an audit and make sure that the right accounts have the right people in them and the right access. All right. Also, really quick, this is what Fortify 365 is all about, right? This is what I'm talking about. Making sure that your on-prem infrastructure is buttoned up. I mean, your Azure infrastructure is buttoned up. Perfect example. If you don't know how to do what I just said, check that out. And if you are a government, high tech, or what else are they attacking? China's big on espionage. So they're typically going for like high value IP. Hold on, I'll tell you 1 second who they're hitting. Government, tech, academic, legal, professional services. Yes, this all makes sense, right? The government, obviously. High tech, obviously. Academic, yes. Research, yes. Legal, and professional services like Booz Allen, Deloitte, Accenture, they're all up in the government. Professional services companies are basically proxied into these other areas. So yes, be on the lookout.
FTC warns tech companies against complying with European and British censorship laws. Federal Trade Commission Chairperson Andrew Ferguson has written to the chief executives of major tech firms, criticizing what he calls, quote, foreign attempts at censorship and efforts to countermand the use of encryption to protect American consumers' data, end quote. He continues that compliance could be considered a violation of Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act, which prohibits unfair or deceptive practices in commerce, adding, quote, American consumers do not reasonably expect to be censored to appease a foreign power and may be deceived by such actions, end quote.
All right, hold on. I was chatting with Kathy here. Let's see. Foreign attempts at censorship. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that makes any sense. What is actually happening here? American consumers do not reasonably expect to be censored. Yeah, I don't know. We're right at the half. I don't really know what to say about this story because it's not clear to me what all is happening. It looks like the UK and the United States used to be like BFFs, right? We were like cousins with just different accents, and now we're like having a bit of a measuring contest here. And dude, the UK, this is European and British. Specifically, the UK has been like out of control with like surveillance, tech surveillance, invasion, privacy considerations. So I don't know if this lies in that same vein, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to be censored by some foreign government. That doesn't even make any sense. I mean, but
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Profit Security. Ever feel like your security team is stuck in a loop of alert fatigue and manual investigations? Meet Profit Security. Their agentic AI SOC platform automates the tedious stuff, triaging, investigating, and responding to alerts so your analysts can focus on real threats. Think 10 times faster response times and a smarter way to secure your business. Learn more at profitsecurity.ai. That is PROPHET security.ai.
Quick word from Threat Locker, and then we're going to do the song. Let's go.
Electronics.
I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Hero support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, holla, 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 holla. Hey, thank you all so very much for being here. I hope you're enjoying the living crap out of the show today. If your kids are in car line still, I know no one wants to go back to school. Yeet that school out of here. You know what I'm saying? Guys, thanks so much to the stream sponsors, Barricade, Antisyphon, Flare, and Threat Locker for enabling me to bring this show to you and to invest in talent like Kathy Chambers to bring her skill set to the show, and then the tech stack to bring this look and feel of the show. This is what I'm talking about. It's all about good times, and I'm so pumped to be able to level up the show and get feedback from you guys. So if you got any, let me know what you think, guys. Whew. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and today is simply of course, hold on. Back to school, 10% off. Simply Cyber Academy. I forget to tell people all the time about the stuff I'm doing, so I'm just trying to make it happen. So yeah, get 10% off until Sunday at Simply Cyber Academy. So giddy up on that. Every single day of the week is a special segment, and I'm super pumped that on Mondays it's the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Now this is somebody in our community who's doing amazing things, helping out, pushing, having great conversations, inspiring others. We've got, so many people in here. AB, Space Tacos, Kimberly Can Fix It, Chuck, Sap, Roswell UK. So many have been the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week in the past. And I'm really excited about this week's. I also want to point out that this is a sponsored segment, as you can see on the card there, sponsored by Threat Locker. Threat Locker does take a deny-by-default approach to to application security and basically zero trust architecture. And because they sponsor that, I'm able to give a $100 Amazon gift card or $100 worth of merch to the Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Now, everybody knows this individual. He's been around for a very long time. I looked back. He hasn't been recognized as the Member of the Week since we started the sponsorship, and I don't think that that's fair. So, ladies and gentlemen, your Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week, you know him as Casually Joseph, a.k.a. Cashmere. This dude has been inspiring so many of us, including myself, for so long. He's so young, but he's crushing it. He's about to wrap up his master's. He's been working in industry. He left one great company to go to another prolific company, grinding. I see him day in and day out. He's got the YouTube channel. Guys, if you don't know Casually Joseph, do say hello to him, our Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Joseph, thank you for all you do. When you wake up and see this, he's working second shift, so he doesn't get up until a little later, but that's okay. Our Simply Cyber Community Member of the Week. Now, as you are known to do, Alpha Sierra, please let's get our la 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 la's on. I'm gonna dance a little bit. Yes, sir. Here it is. Here it is. All right, let's finish strong, everybody. Let's keep cooking.
Manufacturer Data.io suffers ransomware attack. Data.io, sometimes spelt DATA, then capital I/capital O, produces electronics used in vehicles, customer devices, and charging stations for electric vehicles, with their client list including Tesla, Panasonic, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. The company suffered a ransomware attack on August 16th, which impacted shipping, manufacturing, production, and other support functions. A report was sent to federal regulators on Thursday evening, and the company is now waiting for a third-party investigation to conclude before notifying potential data breach victims.
All right. So electronic manufacturer getting hit by ransomware. It is worth noting here, they do have to report to the SEC. This is a new, not new, but a relatively new law that they've pushed down requiring that. Because back in the day, you didn't have to disclose if you didn't want to. Wouldn't be good for the shareholders, you know what I'm saying? So let's keep going. Okay, so like basically you and I don't go purchase IO tech, but Tesla, Panasonic, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they do. So I mean, I guess if you're trying to have a business, I think having Microsoft and Google as customers is probably a good thing. Let's see. This is interesting. So when a public company does actually have to post that they've been breached, it's this Form 8K filing. You can go pull these for anyone, and you'll see here all the details are here, or all the details that they were willing to disclose, right? Material cybersecurity incident. The company engaged cybersecurity experts to support the IT system based on the findings. So basically, you can dig into this to get an idea of how bad things are as an investor, but also just as a practitioner, you can kind of see what's up. I will say, if you're dependent on a business that has to publicly disclose an 8K filing, you can use the 8K filing to get more insights into how that's going to impact you from a supply chain perspective. For example, you can see in this 8K finding, it says the company implemented measures to allow for restoration of some functions, with the timeline for full restoration not yet known. So this is super vague, right? The restoration of some operational functions, like it doesn't disclose which functions. It could be completely useless functions. It could be mission critical functions. We don't know. Full restoration timeline is not known. That is honest, but at the same time, like it could be a year and a half, 2 years, right? So it's your value and mileage may vary on these 8K filings. But the company reported $6 million in sales last quarter, which is surprisingly low, right? You'd think a company that's selling tech to Microsoft and Google and stuff would do more than essentially $24 million a year. That stupid Wisconsin-based software company that had a button on the homepage without logging in to export the entire unencrypted database was making $20 million a year. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I absolutely lost my mind last Thursday on stream with some company that unbelievable that this company makes $20 million a year. And it's like just some slap together piece of software. But anyways, they do. Okay. So I guess the final thing here, because this is just a ransomware attack. One other thing to point out here that they mentioned Dragos. cybersecurity firm Dragos. Dragos is considered by many, including myself, as like the OT ICS cybersecurity firm, like for incident response. So like when you think of like IR for like, Fortune 50 companies, typically Mandiant is the one that comes to mind. For OT ICS, Dragos is. And Dragos does great work with the research side of things as well. Rob Lee runs that company. But if you talk to any OT ICS person, they will tell you, oh, yeah, Dragos. So their reports right here, the industrial ransomware analysis for Q2, this is definitely great material. So I will say, if you're a practitioner or an aspiring practitioner inside the like industrial system space, whether you're working at energy, gas, water, energy, or I already said energy, like basically you can use this report to help get budget. Okay. So there you go. Kathy, look what I did. I tried to, I'm going to go back up the chain here. Oh yeah. There's my man. Oh yeah. Dude, check this out. Speaking of OT and Dragos, check this out. I love this guy. Okay, Mike Holcomb. You want to, this guy, spoiler alert, this guy's probably going to be the community member of the week next week. He was on panel Jawjacking. I got to spend time with him on Friday at Columbia at the SC Kick event. Hidden secrets from the Dragos Year in Review report. Listen, if you don't know how to like data mine value from these reports, Mike Holcomb's got you covered. This guy's Greenville's own, so the upstate's own. Code Brew knows him, right? This guy, Thursday at noon, giddy up on this. I'm going to drop a link in chat. I'm trying like hard to get Mike Holcomb more into the fold. He's a big fan of what we're doing. I'm a big fan of what he's doing. So giddy up on that. I'm putting OT insights into chat there. Doink, doink. All right, let's keep cooking, y'all. Here we go. Let's see if this looks smooth to you guys.
House lawmakers seek to change federal cyber job education requirements. The act would be called the Cybersecurity Hiring Modernization Act. It has been put forward by Representatives Nancy Mace, Republican for South Carolina, and Shontel Brown, Democrat for Ohio. Mace is chair of the House Oversight, Cybersecurity, Information Technology, and Government Innovation Subcommittee, and Brown is a ranking member of the same committee. The act would, quote, prioritize skills-based hiring over educational requirements for cyber jobs at federal agencies, end quote, and this would be done to, quote, ensure the federal government has access to a broader pool of qualified applicants, end quote, in the face of urgent cybersecurity challenges. Mace stated, quote, we need to make sure our federal agencies hire the most qualified candidates, not just those with traditional degrees.
All right. Hey, check it out. This is great news for us, everybody. Really quick, Nancy Mace is the representative from South Carolina. She's also a Citadel graduate, where I'm faculty. Basically, here's the deal. We've been saying this forever in the industry. So if you're new here, okay, let me tell you something that many of us know, but everybody should know, okay? Practical skills are the most important thing that you can have as a candidate getting a job. Education is valuable. Certifications are valuable. Practical skills and the ability to do work right away is the most valued. Essentially, we are not a trade. Cyber is not a vocation, but the way it's treated and the way that hiring works right now, it very much is aligned to that. So the federal government, which is notoriously glacial in hiring and doing all sorts of things, very bureaucratic and bloated. Nancy and Shontel Brown, so bipartisan, by the way, it's worth noting, especially in today's political ecosystem. It's nice to see bipartisanship. They are trying to basically change the laws around making cybersecurity hiring easier in the industry. So for you international people, I know we're a very international crew up in this piece. It's not so great for you, okay? For US-based people, this is huge. This is wicked huge. Dude, the US government needs help, right? Like government, state, local, federal, it's getting punched in the mouth left, right, and center. And if you're going to have to wait 2 years, 4 years for someone to go get a bachelor's degree in English so they can do a cybersecurity job, that makes no sense. So I applaud this. I will point out that Nancy Mace tried to do this a few years ago, as it says in the story here. During the 2023 Modernizing the Acquisition of Cybersecurity Experts, which did the same thing. Okay, she literally tried this already, and it passed in the House, but it did not pass in the Senate. So even though this is a great thing, hey, Devin Grady, 2 years, love it. And it was awesome hanging out with Devin Grady at SC Kick. And also worth noting, he won the CTF at SC Kick. What a boss. What an absolute boss. So even if this passes, hold your horses until it passes in the Senate. But I hope it does, guys, because we need help wicked bad. And it wouldn't suck to have some more jobs in the market, yeah?
Designed to keep women safer is hacked and breached. Following up on a story we covered in July, the women-only T dating advice app suffered a massive data breach exposing highly sensitive user data. Initially, it was reported that hackers accessed a legacy storage system, leaking 72,000 images, including 13,000 selfies and driver's licenses, period. These were meant for immediate deletion after verification. The crisis deepened, however, when a researcher uncovered over 1.1 million private direct messages from 2023 through 2025, revealing intimate conversations and personal identifiers. T suspended its messaging feature on July 29th and enlisted cybersecurity experts, but these experts condemned its weak protections. The company behind the app is now facing 10 class action lawsuits and calls for App Store removal. It is, however, offering affected users identity theft and credit monitoring services.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to call it F around and find out because I don't know if this app, here's the deal. Okay. This is they laid it out here, right? Social media app for women to talk about men. Okay. And just like, let's put aside the fact that maybe some of the things that are shared are not true, right? Maybe somebody's a jilted lover and they just want to smear somebody. Also realistic, maybe someone was like sexually assaulted or drugged or something and they want to protect other women. So this is I understand the motivation behind an app like this, and I applaud it. I do applaud it, okay? Now, there's a couple things. Number one, they did require women to disclose their driver's license as part of the verification process. That data was also leaked, and sadly, it should have been deleted after verification happened. This is a classic example of data governance not being properly handled in the reality of the fallout from that. So, like, listen, data governance is not a sexy thing. Data governance isn't hot. Nobody is like lining up for a movie premiere about the new Tom Cruise data governance flick, okay? It's just not happening, okay? But if you do need to do data governance and you are trying to push that priority at your organization, this is a perfect visceral example of what happens when you F around and find out with treating data governance like it's a passing fancy, like, oh, whatever, data governance. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let's hear that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, well, if ain't nobody got time for that, that's fine. But you can explain that to the 70,000 women whose data's been leaked and have pins all over maps, and people who are, mentally not all there or super aggressive or misogynistic that now want to exact revenge or exact some type of justice on these individuals. This is scary stuff, man. Some of these women might have to move, which sucks, right? It's bad. It's really bad. This company is getting sued to the moon with multiple class action lawsuits, which is not surprising. I heard a rumor about how this website was developed that I don't want to disclose because I don't know if it's true or not. But all I'll say is when you are doing software development of an app, so if you work at a tech company that's doing software, you have to do two things. One, you have to include at least unit testing of security features. Two, you have to like cybersecurity has to be baked into the product. I get it that features sell and security doesn't sell, but data governance that's the story here is the data governance one. So I don't know. I have to imagine this company is going to go out of business. I could also imagine a rival app coming up since it was so popular so quickly.
China exits the internet for an hour. Activist group Great Firewall Report noted that the entire country of China cut itself off from the internet for just over an hour last Wednesday. This was done by, quote, disrupting all traffic to TCP port 443, the standard port used for carrying HTTPS traffic, end quote. Not only did this prevent China's citizens from reaching websites hosted outside China, it also blocked other services that rely on port 443, such as those used by Apple and Tesla to, quote, connect to offshore servers that power some of their basic services, end quote. Reporters at The Register cannot identify an obvious reason for the blockage, suggesting China was, quote, either testing its ability to block port 443, which Beijing might see as a useful capability, or someone messed up, end quote.
I have a guess on this one. So yeah, someone messed up. Okay. That's probably the most likely explanation, right? Some junior analyst was trying to block port 443 on one web server and accidentally hit ***** and blocked everything. China, well known for their censorship actions. Here's my hot take. Okay, so Simply Cyber community members, there is a tinfoil hat emote that you can giddy up on. I only use it when I'm about to say something that's completely unsubstantiated. And you let me know if I'm full of crap in chat, please. Here's my hot take. Port 443 is web traffic encrypted. Okay? Port 80 is web traffic unencrypted. Now, I don't know necessarily if this is true or not, but there have been instances where if you try to make a network connection and you cannot make the connection, it will downgrade basically. You see this with encryption algorithms all the time. I wonder if China did this because they were trying to basically eavesdrop on something and the data was being encrypted on 443. So they shut off 443 so it would push down to 80 and be unencrypted, and then they could sniff it and then they set it back up. Just a thought, just a theory. Like when I think of China and espionage and sniffing data, more than likely it was a misconfiguration, but port 443 is a pretty big one to block, right? So there's that, or maybe there was some type of, I don't know, C2 traffic that was causing a problem, and this is the equivalent of like pulling the internet for a CISO. Yeah. Either way, remember too, this is pulling the 443 from China to the internet, to the world, right? Like I'm sure China still had access within China to hit resources like Alibaba or something like that, right? It's not like this shut off the internet to all citizens in China. Anyways, hot take. All right, let's keep doing this because I want to, guys, this new layout's super cool, but at the same time, it's like harder for me to like engage with chat. I feel like I'm more of a news anchor up here, which is kind of fun. But I miss chatting and jawjacking with you, so we definitely want to get that sorted out. Oh, speaking of that, look what I did. Look at this. Woo! All right, look at this. Stay tuned for jawjacking. Here we go. Bro. Huh. Interesting. For some reason, it won't play that song. Whatever, who cares? All right, everybody. Holla, 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 holla. Let's do this really quickly. Really quick, I do want to do this. I haven't thought through the end of the show yet. Hey, really quick, we're about to get going over to Jawjacking, so don't get sweaty or anything. But before we do that, I want to remind everybody, after Jawjacking at 9 a.m. Eastern time, so in 5 minutes, that's Jawjacking, an AMA program for you, the community. At 9:30 a.m., Wade Wells, who's in chat right now, at Wading Through Logs, you can say a hi to him, and Josh Mason, Season 4, Episode 5 of Simply Defensive. They're talking about gamified malware training for blue teaming. Oh my God. If you want to learn how to do malware analysis and malware training and do it in a fun way, you do not want to miss this episode. Give it a thumbs up. As always, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the living crap out of the show today. Let me know what you think about the new graphics package. And we're going to pull it up like this. Stay tuned for Jawjacking, a 30-minute AMA program where we go buck wild answering all your questions. All you got to do is put a question in chat with a Q in front of it, and we will giddy up and get everything we can. I'm Jerry, your chat. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Jawjacking. Holla! Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. All right, what's up, everybody? My glasses are in the house because they were in my bag, which I took to Columbia, which I left in the house. This is Jawjacking, a 30-minute AMA show where we answer any and all questions that we possibly can and just have a good time. It's all about community. It's all about good times. Christopher Ryan Rains saying, great show. Thank you, Christopher Ryan Rains. I hope you guys got value. Ready Leader 1 says, loves the new graphic package. Yes, sir. Thank you. Love the new graphics. Good show as always. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the new graphics package, do tip your hat to Kathy Chambers. Kathy Chambers putting her just amazing executive producer eye on the show and straight killing it. Look at this. Yeah, everybody's loving it. So what kind of questions? How was your weekend, everybody? Kids are back to school. Starting this Thursday, I'm going back to teaching at the Citadel. Hopefully you guys know that Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't do Jawjacking anyways. Eric Taylor does Tuesday and Daniel Lowry does Thursdays. So you should see no change to things other than maybe I speed run the show a little bit on Tuesday and Thursday just to make sure I'm not late for class, especially in the early part of the school year. I like to set an expectation for the students that I'll be casually late for class from time to time. All right. Yeah, Legrat, the chat stream is there. It'll be there for when I'm doing like the big head stuff. We'll get it sorted out. The good thing is you could still see chat. You guys can see chat on your mobile device and on your computer, even if it's not on screen the whole time. All right. Continuing to look here. Alpha Sierra says the new layout covered my face too much. Alpha Sierra, thank you. I've been told I have a face for radio. All right. What did Marcus Kyler reference? I always like it when I see nice reference. He needs his glasses. He can't see without his glasses. That's so funny. I feel like I should have been watching. I missed out the new... Don't worry, Soap Flavored. The new graphics package is here to stay. This was phase 1. But I've been telling people, I've been talking to Kathy about wanting to desperately like level up the show. I tell people this all the time, and I live it myself, guys. 1% better every day. Just 1% better. I'm committed to making this show as good as it can be and deliver as much value as I can to you. That's why I have Tyler and Daniel and Eric and Wade and the panels come on. And it's why... it's why we're trying to level it up. If I was just going to mail it in, like that's not fair to you guys. And it doesn't get me excited. Like I want to deliver excellence. I want to have pride in my work. Let's see. Oh, Clay Shannon, my man, Clay Shannon. saying hi to me at the end of the talk. What's up? Also, hey, really quick, Clay Shannon. If you are playing Battlefield 6, I don't care what platform you're playing on, we are absolutely going to form a Simply Cyber squad. Dan Reardon, a.k.a. the Haircut Fish, Casually Joseph, Wade Wells, I know, is up in BF6. I'm not saying we have to overwhelm people, but there's a lot of people that are interested in squatting up on BF6. So I think we're going to actually have a little bit of a thing going here. All right, Kathy Chambers is out of here. Kathy Chambers, Jenny Housley's out of here. Bye, guys. No questions today, guys? No questions? Come on. I mean, I feel like oh, here we go. Lofton does it. I'm transitioning from military into cyber. What's the best way to find? I just finished my Google cyber cert. All right, Lofton, couple things. Number one, I have a lot. I actually have an entire playlist on this. Give me a second here. Let me see you. So number one, the skill bridge is a really great option. I know people that have done that. If you are a transitioning military person in chat, can you also weigh in on this? I know we have so many different members of the community. There it is. Yeah. So, my gosh. I wasn't prepared for this question. Basically, you should definitely leverage all your veteran benefits, okay? Veterans do get a lot of benefit and access to opportunities. Oh my God, dude. All right, here we go. I knew I had it. All right, here we go. So I'm going to add this right here. Now, some of these videos are dated, but they still hold up, okay? And then I'm going to tell you some people to follow. Okay, doink. All right, so here we go. Lofton does it. Doink. All right, there's your playlist. Lofton does it. Now, what I want to tell you is, number one, the skill bridge stuff is good. There's a VA Boots to Cyber, or there's a couple VA organizations that you should absolutely check out. Jax Scott is another one that I would recommend. Here, let me do this really quickly. Jax Scott. Jax is a friend of mine, Lofton. She's a GRC VP CISO. She's also military, and she's got all sorts of insights. So if you want to ping her, she can definitely also provide guidance. And then finally, it depends on what you want to do, Lofton, all right? Like, I'll share this with you too. If you go to academy.simplycyber.io, we actually have a ton of free content there that can help you understand if you even want to work in certain areas. Holy shit. Oh, shoot. We have the OSINT workshop tomorrow. So Lofton does it. See all these free ones? See, free. I have a ton of free educational content right here that you should absolutely take advantage of. This one right here is probably pretty solid. The Cybersecurity Career Launchpad. So come check that out. While I have you guys here, I completely forgot, and it's kind of embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed when I forget things like this. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Mashal Khan is hosting a live workshop, 5 real-world applications for OSINT. Mashal is an expert in OSINT. He has unbelievably gripping talks and workshops. Free. Please come register for this. It's going to be awesome. You have to register and then follow the little prompts when you get in there, and it'll give you the calendar invite, okay? Whew, that was a lot. Wait, hold on. Still getting used to the new Stream Deck buttons here. Okay. Questions. All right. I'm looking through chat right now for questions. So when I get to one, I'll pull it up and you guys. Sean says he's got a lot of people reaching out about those positions. What's the best way to advise people who are not positioned for entry-level cyber positions yet? What's the best way to advise people who are not positioned for entry-level cyber positions yet? I mean, if they're missing certain like requirements, just tell them that. Like, I guess my thing is, I would just point out, Sean, I would point out one thing up that would be like the next logical thing for them to do that would help them get positioned for that entry level position. That's what I would recommend. You know, share resources. I mean, I have a ton of free resources, you know, to help people break into the industry. But I would say like Lofton Does It is doing a Sec Plus right now. Like, here's an example. Lofton, make sure you check out Jesse Johnson's Slay Security Plus. It's a YouTube channel live stream. It's free. And he basically has a bunch of people who are studying for their Security Plus do quiz questions together on Saturdays. Okay? Sean, I hope that helps. I also appreciate you wanting to mentor people. Joseph Torres says, looking to set up his home SOC. I don't have a dedicated hardware right now. Is it good to start with a VM first? Yeah, if you have the hardware to support virtual machines. I know Wade Wells, Wade was in chat the other day. Docker over VMs for home SOC. I just pitched a question to Wade Wells in chat. Look into Docker and containers. Joseph Torres. And check that out. But yeah, also, dude, I mean, you say home SOC. So, I mean, if you're looking for your home traffic, then yes, you have to have a home SOC. VMs can be done, but you're going to run into some challenges, right? If you're trying to like span network traffic and stuff, it's going to be a lot on your machine. I mean, I know money is not, it's expensive is a subjective term. I spent a couple $100 on like a little NUC and I put Security Onion on it and span it off my switch. And I use that in my home. So I was able to do it for a couple $100. But yeah, that's what I would say. If anyone has thoughts on this as well, VMs work, containers work. If you're just looking to learn the skills, I would use Cloud Labs. Octet8180 says, do you have any recommendations on what brand would be good for a personal laptop for cybersecurity? Yeah, really quick. Listen, I like Lenovo. Okay, I used to run Dell all the time, and then I needed a beefier laptop because I stream when I'm on the road, and I got a Legion workbook. It's a resource pig. I have to keep it plugged in all the time. But basically, IBM ThinkPads, Lenovo, which is the IBM consumer line, and then Dell. I hate HP computers, so don't use those. Apple computers are fine. You might run into some challenges with different apps that you're running. Linux isn't a bad one if you want. Just know that I'll tell you, there isn't any cyber. You can do cyber if you have a browser and can get access to a command line, which you can do with any operating system. You'll be fine, right? So you don't need some specific computer beefed up for cybersecurity. Although if it were me, I'd get a Windows-based computer. I've had some challenges with compatibility with my Apple computers, but a lot of learning is web-based nowadays. Primary Gmail says, I'm currently working as a SIM admin. Is the field lucrative, or what's the scope for this? I want to earn more than $200,000 and have 4 years of work experience. I want to learn. I want to earn more than 200K too. So what I would say is everything's relative. Okay. So a SIEM admin. So I guess one thing I'd say is are you doing detection engineering and you're looking at that, or you're just managing the infrastructure of the SIM and making sure that the SIM is healthy? 200K might be a bit of a stretch for that. I will say, if you want to move to New York City, you might be able to get 200K, or Austin, Texas, or the Bay Area. You might, you know what I mean? Because like the cost of living's higher. So, I don't know the salary ranges for a SIM admin though. I don't know. I think if you're like a really good detection engineer, you might be able to demand 200K, but I don't know if you're going to be able to get it as a SIM admin and 4 years of experience. Wow. Good on you. I will tell you the highest amount I ever made ever. And I'm talking, 20, like I'm definitely not the right person because I was never really financially driven. I think 170 might've been like the highest. I own my own business now, so I don't pay myself very well, but yeah, good luck. 200K. Jonathan, I'm a senior GRC analyst at a bank now, and I can transition to a federal government GRC position. Oh, how can I? Yeah, just apply, Jonathan. I mean, if you are doing that, you're fine. If you want to get into federal government, I would say get familiar with FISMA, get familiar with NIST CSF, right? At the bank, you may not be doing NIST CSF or NIST RMF, but you're definitely going to be doing that in federal government. So if you have that expertise and experience on your resume and in your space, you should definitely get that. Also, there is a soft skill element to transitioning. So I would start going to federal government, conferences and meeting with people in that space. Also, you're more likely to get work in professional services that have government contracts than you are specifically to go work in federal government. So look for that. I will say if you get a job at like Booz Allen or Deloitte and you're working on a government services side contract as like an information security manager on a program or something, you'll get to know all the federal people and then you'll find out when jobs open and then you can apply to them. That's how I would do it. If my ultimate goal was to be a civilian senior GRC person, that's how I would do it. I want to say everybody that's sharing information with Lofton, thank you. Also, Lofton, you can see Rick here said you can reach out to him. So great. I love the support. Thank you, Simply Cyber community. Hashtag Team SC. Let's go. All right. Continuing to look through chat. TJ Williams. Yes, she is still at that same role. Lofton has a clearance. Oh yeah. Go on with your bad self.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep. Oh yeah. My man Lazaro in chat. Lazaro is one of my, I love the Lazaro story. Hold on one second. Let me pin all these questions here because I'm going to get to yours question, Lazaro. Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm pinning all the questions so I can get to, oh my God. I have a funny story for you guys. As soon as here he is, Lazaro with the super chat. Thanks, Lazaro. Just want to express my gratitude to you and this community for changing my career life again. 4 months away from hitting 2 years. Team SC all day. Yes, sir. Yeah, Lazaro is a classic, perfect case study of someone who did all the right things, put in the work, got the job, got rewarded, and continues to grind and level and skill up and just killing it. Lazaro, thanks for sharing your W. All right. Jerry, tell me more about your sock onion at home. Did you say nuck? Yeah, Shane. So let me see if I can find it really quickly. Hold on. I'm going into my Amazon orders. It's not a true nuck. I use the term nuck as like a generic term. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Okay. So here, I bought this. You can see here, purchased April 2nd, 2025. This is what I call a nuck. Okay. It's like basically it's the size of a coaster, but it's thicker, obviously. And it's a full computer. I use it as a headless unit. It's the reason I like this one. You see how it has 2 NIC outputs? So one I can use for a node on the network, and the other I can use to take a span port. I run Security Onion on it, and it just dumps all the data onto it. Now, obviously, I don't have how big is the hard drive on this thing? A terabyte of hard drive. So minus the operating system and some of the software, the rest goes to logs, which doesn't have a tremendous amount of logging capability. But I don't have that huge a home network. I only have like my main endpoints pushing telemetry. Like I don't have like my Ring doorbell pushing telemetry. And I've just got it set it up. I'm running an Elastic on it. And yeah, that's what it is. Cost $300. I could take a picture. I got like a little server closet, quote unquote server closet. I could take a picture and send it to you guys if you want. I do run a Ubiquity home network. So if you're not familiar, like basically Ubiquity, you're like all in or you're not all in on the ecosystem. I love it. So I run it. Hopefully that answers your question, Shane. What other skills would you be valuable to landing that first job besides soft skills and certs? Any particular programming language? Hey, Alicia. I mean, programming language is not really going to work one way or the other. Congratulations, Space Tacos, 2 years at your job. That did go by quick and super awesome. If you're going to pick a programming language, Python, I mean, I would learn it anyways. It's not going to help you land that job, but it's certainly going to help you be a better practitioner. Honestly, I mean, Alicia, you could learn programming, but then make sure you're telling people and documenting it and sharing it. It depends on what role you want. Also, like if you want to work in a SOC, go learn the skills of like, the CDSA cert from, is that Try Hack Me? I think it is, right? Like go learn those things. Oh, let's Hack the Box. So Hack the Box CDSA, right? This is going to give you, I've read that this cert is super legit and gives you all those skills. The thing is, a cert isn't going to necessarily make it. What you need to do is get the training, maybe get the cert, but then clearly communicate to everyone, social media, your resume, your personal blog, your YouTube channel, like whatever, the impact of those skills, right? Talk about it. I'm giving a talk, Alicia, at B-Sides Greenville, which I don't know if it'll be published or not, on like how to do this, exactly what I'm saying, effectively on LinkedIn. So that could be useful. Just keep learning. Keep learning and make sure it's aligned to whatever your goal is, right? So if you want to be a GRC analyst, I wouldn't try to do like hacking AD and learn that. Like that could be useful, but it'd be much more useful if you learned like what risk assessments are or how to do security awareness training. Reed Hurlbert says CDSA rocks. Thanks, Reed. Reed, a black badge holder. I was just talking to some kid. Yeah. Dude, somebody I know, somebody we all know was talking to me yesterday. He was mentoring somebody last week, and the person said, he told him 15 minutes he spent explaining to this individual what he needed to do to like break in. And the guy said, that sounds like a lot of work. Like, what's the easy way to do it? Do I have to do all these things? He's like, oh my God, bruh. Got to be realistic. Which field in cybersecurity is lucrative? I'm seeing a few articles about GRC engineering. They say it is the future. Can someone talk about it, please? I mean, GRC engineering is just using tech and tools to automate a lot of GRC functionality. I've been saying GRC is coming for a while with compliance requirements, CMMC in the U.S. federal government, the increase in attacks on businesses and stuff like that. The first step that a lot of businesses are going to go to is putting someone in charge of cybersecurity, which would be like a GRC role. Now, as far as it being lucrative, your mileage may vary on that. I mean, this is a couple years ago, but I mean, I had 20 years and a PhD and a YouTube channel that had a lot of exposure. And the best I could do was 170,000 remote work for a tech company. So I don't know, man. Lucrative is a subjective term. Go work in a major city with a high cost of living and you can make a lot of money. Work multiple jobs, you can make a lot of money. I would say on balance though, cyber is a lucrative field compared to other jobs, right? Like lawyers and doctors, they get paid a lot of money. IT people who know what they're doing can get paid a lot of money. I would say that in my opinion, and I'm open to people's thoughts on this one, oh my gosh. Bro. I would say that the 0 to 3 years, 0 to 3 years, you're not going to get much in the way of lucrative deals, in my opinion. Okay. First of all, there's a lot of people who want the job. So the market's going to dictate how much you get paid. I'm not going to hire you for 150,000 if I can hire someone who's a comp for 80,000, right? I might as well hire 2 people for 75,000 each. When you get specialized, when you get good, when there's a business that's in demand, then you can start charging premium rates. If you're a high-end pen tester, you could charge, but I don't know. I guess I would say this. If you're trying to get in cybersecurity for the money, you're probably going to burn out quick because you got to really like what you're doing because you're going to be doing it a lot. Next question. Berg. Trying to break into cyber. Should I start learning IT help desk or experience and focus on cyber skills? So, dude, fundamental IT is like super valuable and an unbelievable foundation. So yeah, I mean, you can get on the help desk and pivot. You'll learn a lot on the help desk. So yeah, I think it's good. I mean, honestly, I would do both, right? I do help desk and cyber skills, right? Especially if you're grinding and taking initiative and being proactive, you are going to shine. So I don't think ever working on the help desk is going to be a bad move. DJ BSEC started on the help desk. Lucky says he likes the positivity of the stream. Heck yeah, let's go. We are all about good times up in this mother trucker. All right. How fast are the ports? Lucky number 11 says that's a good question. I forget. 2,500 megabytes per second or megabits per second. Looking at chat, guys. Had a burnout studying cybersecurity. This is someone over on LinkedIn getting back onto a night studying for PJPT and OSCP. Good on you. And I'm glad you took a minute. Guys, if you're suffering burnout, please take care of your mental health. And I'm telling you this as a person who has suffered burnout multiple times. Like I'm actually like low key, like just to be fully transparent with you guys, not that this is like a therapy session, but like I was actually thinking about it over the weekend, whether or not I'm beginning to experience like a more subtle long version of burnout. Because typically when I burn out, it's like instantaneous, like my brain stops working, which is so weird. Like I can't think analytically or think deep on anything, and I just have to wait 36 hours before my brain reboots. But I was wondering this weekend if I'm beginning to suffer a little bit more. But I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm definitely not looking for any pity parties or anything like that. I'm just telling you guys. Also, really quick while we're talking, don't forget, we got the workshops tomorrow. I've been trying to get these workshops off the ground. It's been quite a pain in the A to be successful at it, but I think we got it. I think we got it today. 5 more minutes until the raid. Raid, baby. All right, let's keep cooking. Looking at chat. Chatty chat. Sierra Montgomery's in the hizzy. What's up, Sierra? All right, Marcus Kyler's doing his GRC engineering. Love it. Marcus Kyler, be sexy. Marcus Kyler, the Yeet crew. All right. Space Taco says, how am I doing? I'm good. Despite what I just said, I'm good. I got some fun news. You can't really tell because the camera angle, but this studio is like almost empty right now. Mrs. Auger is she's going to be doing some construction in here, putting up shelving, like this cool, like French cleat shelving thing. So I'm really excited about that. Also super excited about Battlefield 6. Kids are doing well. It's going to start getting busy when the Citadel starts up here at the end of the week, but I'm good. CTI with Jay says, what do you... Oh, by the way, Simply CyberCon, we're going to be sending out all the speaker, all that stuff. I've been pushing, if you haven't seen it, I've been pushing on social media about Simply CyberCon sponsorships. We've been getting some of that action. Speakers and the talk tracks are all done, so that's going to be published, and I'm super excited about that. CTI with Jay says, what do you think 2026 looks like for SMEs, which is subject matter experts, and specialized role versus generic services like MDRs? For example, do you see more companies reducing their in-house InfoSec teams for MDRs and SaaS? It's a good question. I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, it's always been like small, mid-sized businesses use MDRs because it's more cost-effective, and then larger enterprises bring it in-house because they can afford it, and it's faster time services. SaaS products are super valuable. I don't know. Honestly, I could see more specialized MDRs coming out, right? Like MDRs that are specialized in, Azure hybrid environments or something like that. The problem is that here's another thing really quick that comes to mind, Jay. There's a lot of money right now. Like investors have lots of money, and the market is scared because of tariffs and inflation and uncertainty with wars and stuff like that. So there's a lot of private equity money. There's a lot of investor money that's just sitting there, and investors do not like to sit on their money. Money makes money, right? So an investor definitely wants some. So I could see in 2026, a lot of infusion of capital going into MDRs to spin them out, or going into tech products looking for the next unicorn, right? So I do think that AI is going to continue to kind of be like, when we're looking at 2026, I think AI is going to continue to reign supreme as far as like, how are you integrating it? I saw a news article yesterday saying like, has the AI bubble popped? I don't think so. I think it's going to keep iterating. I think that article was dunking on GPT-5, but we'll see. All right. Ooh. So Cyber Risk Witch is doing research on burnout. So if anyone would like to connect with her, I think her name is the same on Discord. So Pushplay says, I'm an IT analyst and like the company I work at. However, the opportunity to transition to cyber has not presented itself. What's the next step here? Yeah. I mean, number one, you can overtly, like, I'm not sure how strong you've been letting people know that you want to roll. Like if you're saying that the opportunity hasn't presented itself because they haven't opened a new job rec, well, that's different than letting the InfoSec office know that you want to transition into that role. They might be able to make like a hybrid role of what you're currently doing. They might be able to like split, like from the split budget. They may open the position, So I don't know, but if you have made it crystal clear that you want to move in there and they've hired other people over you, it seems like it's not going to happen, then yeah, looking elsewhere would definitely be the right move. Of course, make sure that it's always easier to find a job when you have a job. So yeah, I certainly wouldn't be opposed to looking somewhere else. Remember, you're the CEO of you, right? So you got to think of your service as an asset that you're shopping around. Your current employer, they're renting you, right? So if you can, go somewhere else and get the work you want, and probably for more money, then do it. But in your current role, I wouldn't be like, listen, you hire me as a cyber engineer or I quit. I wouldn't go that route, but I would make it abundantly clear that you would very much like to switch into a role, like a cyber engineer role for that company. Yeah, Code Brew, I'm feeling you on that, dude. I pre-ordered it like a stiff, and then like heartbroken when I couldn't play it. Woo, look at us. Here we go. Jesse Johnson's in the house. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, Simply Defensive is here. We are ready to party. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed the new graphics package. I'm going to do a hot wash with Kathy. Let's go raid, if we will. Wade Wells, Josh Mason. Raid. All right, guys, thanks so very much. I'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Until next time, stay secure.